Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Raha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught us this truth and ruled well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and the elect. Okay? I'm Mariah Zabak out of the GMS Dallas camp. And I'm going to entitle this lesson here, Remember Your Past. All right? With this great awakening that's taking place, you notice that this kingdom here in Babylon the Great is falling. Okay, Esau, Edom, he understands that his time is short. You see, and they going out through great measures, trying to erase the history of the shame of the past of their sins and iniquities. Okay. So these Edomites, they trying to take out, the things that happened in slavery, off the internet, out of the museums, okay? And what else? How they trying to take it? They trying to, just stop teaching it in the schools, okay? You have a generation of Gen Z or whatever. They don't even teach them about slavery. So they make it seem like, this is where it's always been. I mean, this is how it always been, okay? That you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans been on the bottom, okay, in this society. But that's far from the truth, okay? So there were some things that had taken place, all right? And, there are some precepts that I want to get into when it comes to remembering our past. I'm going to start off with this one precept here. Let's get that in Baruch, the 4th chapter. All right. This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 3, and it reads, "Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation." All right. And I'm going to hold that for a minute. I'm going to stop right there because that's something, as our people, waking up, this mass awakening that's taking place, we understand who we are. Okay. And, matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get that, Let's go to Isaiah, the 47th chapter real quick. Because something had taken place, all right? This is Isaiah 47 chapter, verse 6, and it reads, verse 6, "I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and give them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, hast thou very, very heavily laid thy yoke," okay? And this is talking about Babylon. And when you go into Babylon here, that is speaking about the old virgin daughter of Babylon is going into Esau, Edom. All right. And just for, edification's sake, I'll go ahead and grab that real quick, But we have to remember our past. OK, this is Psalms 137 and start from verse 7. And it reads, "Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof." And that's going into, them destroying Jerusalem, under the Babylonian Empire. They were happy that that Jerusalem was being taken down. Okay. And this is Esau, Edom. Okay. But this is a future prophecy that we're speaking of. Verse 8, and it reads, "O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed." So we know Esau, Edom is the daughter of Babylon. All right. But my point in Isaiah, 47 and 6, with us remembering why we're in this condition. And this goes to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true Hebrew Israelites. Okay. He never called you black, African-American, Afro-American, niggas, wetbacks, okay? He never called you these proverbs and proverbs. Okay, that's you can read about in Deuteronomy 28 under the curses. Okay, so something had happened. All right, and what happened? We pissed our power off, man, by breaking the first covenant. Okay, going into idolatry. Okay, under the heathens. You see, worshiping other gods, different philosophies, the other ways of the heathen. And this is what made our power angry. And we'll get that too in Jeremiah, the 17th chapter. All right, this is Jeremiah 17:4. And it reads, "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." Okay? So this is the reason, you see, why we're in this condition and why it's important to remember your past. That's very important. And going back to my point at the beginning of this lesson, these Edomites here in Babylon the Great, starting with your leader, DJ, y'all know who I'm speaking about. He wants to take all of these things to bring remembrance back to our people. Okay, but it's too late because we have the Holy Spirit. This word has gone forth and he can't stop prophecy. All right, but it's very important to remember your past. They'll tell you forget about slavery and all of these things. Okay, but then they'll tell you to remember the Holocaust. Okay, remember 9/11. Okay, Independence Day. They got all these holidays that they want you to remember, but want to take your history and throw it in the garbage, man. But we just read where it's important not to give in Baruch, let's read it again, Baruch 4:3, "Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation." Okay, because you have some people calling you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans all of these proverbs and proverbs, but you have some other people that trying to benefit from you, from your heritage, calling themselves Ish. Okay, the small hats, those people over there in the Holy Land. Okay, and they're the top bankers and elites that's running Babylon the Great. You see. But we're going to get into some precepts here, all right? And we're going to start out with Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7. And it reads, let's get it real quick. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7, and it reads, "Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee." Okay, and this is Deuteronomy. If you go to the first chapter, who is this being addressed to? Let's read that. Deuteronomy 1:1. "These be the words which Moses spoke unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness." Okay, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazar and Dizabah, and because they were led out of Egypt. Okay, they had Exodus out of there. Okay, that's the first Exodus. So these are the words that Moses is addressing to the Israelites. Okay, and that's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, man. All right. So back to Deuteronomy 32 and 7, it says, "Remember the days of old." Okay, consider the years of many generations. Why? Because we were under the curses, man. All right. I just read in Jeremiah 17:4, the anger. Matter of fact, let's get it again. Okay. This is Jeremiah 17:4, and it reads, "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage." So we got to remember that I gave thee. I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. All right. So this is why our people try to figure out, hey, why did we go into slavery? Why are we in this condition? Why are we on the bottom? Okay? And this is for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Y'all are the true Hebrew Israelites. This is why y'all on the bottom, because we pissed our power off. You see? And it's very important for you to remember. And who is your fathers, man? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? Whose name was changed to Israel, all right? Which means Yasharallah, prince of the power, prince of the power, Salaki. Was choking. So you are the people, okay? All right. Back to Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7. And again, it reads, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father. Okay, if you got to ask somebody something, that means you want to know some information. Okay, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. Okay, so this is why the prophets are out here, uploading videos, doing what thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so our people can understand why we're in this condition. All right, and this is what happens, when you come into this truth, man. All right, that has to be that's the importance of repentance. All right, you have to turn from, okay, and come back to your power, man. And that's the part of being converted, by the renewing of your mind of these scriptures. All right, to give you understanding so you can get up out this condition you in. All right, which is going to happen through our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, okay, who hung, bled, and died on the cross. All right. His name is Yahweh Shai. He saves, he delivers. All right. Let's get another precept. Let's go to Psalms 74, and I'll start at verse 23, and it reads. Let's get that. Psalm 74. All right. And 23, and it reads, forget not the voice of thine enemies. Okay. There again, we're told to remember. When you're told not to forget, that means remember. Okay. Forget not the voice of thine enemies. Why? The tumult of those that rise up against thee, increase it continually. All right. So we're supposed to remember, man, what our enemy had done to us. And it's a reason why. Okay. That way you won't be sitting in la la land, trying to vote for a Democrat, for a Republican. Okay. Trying to get out your situation, thinking you're going to be equal to these people, these Edomites, the so-called white man, the devil. Okay. That the Bible speak of. You see. And it reads again, Psalm 74 and 23. Forget not the voice of thine enemies, the tumult of those that rise up against thee, increase it continually. All right. So you're supposed to remember, man, these things that this devil is doing. Not, man, we got to forgive, man. Man, Jesus said, hey, man, we don't worship Jesus. We don't condone no Jesus. That's a Edomite, man. Okay. That's not our power. All right. Our power, his name was given in Hebrew, which is Yahweh Shai. He saves, he delivers. All right. Not no goddamn Jesus. All right. Let's get Ezekiel 35. Okay. The 35th chapter, because this is going into Esau, Edom. All right. Let's get Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, and we're going to start from let's see. Okay. Okay, Ezekiel 35, and we'll start from verse 5. And it reads, Ezekiel 35 and 5. because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed blood of the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? And it's talking about Esau Edom. He has perpetual hatred for you. That's why you be trying to figure out, man, why they hate black people? Why they hate Mexicans? Why they hate the so-called Indians? Okay? Why they hate us so much? Because y'all the Israelites, man. It's not a coincidence. Verse 5 again, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, which is today would be the gun or any weapon, a nuance, a rope hanging you by the tree, okay? All of these things putting you to death, choking you out. Trayvon Martin, all right? All of these things that this devil has done, okay? We read that again. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, okay? Because you didn't stop, okay? You kept going, man. You took it too far. These goddamn Edomites, man, these devils, all right? But he, our power, Yahweh had put the spirit upon him just like he did Pharaoh, okay? Because he's going to get judged by our deliverer, our redeemer, Yahweh Shah, all right? Verse 6, and it reads, therefore, as I live, said Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, thy power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, okay? So blood is going to pursue Esau Edom, the so-called white man, as a nation, okay? And our people need to get off that love your enemy to say the so-called white man, okay? Forget that goddamn devil, man, and that damn nation. They all going into slavery, into captivity, okay? Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so his time is coming. And this is what he's trying to escape by having you to forget slavery. You know, that happened a long time ago. Now you got these devils proudly saying, hey, you better be happy that you're not living in a hut. We gave y'all lights. We gave you a car. Okay, we gave you civilization. That's a mockery. All right, so basically saying we don't care what we did to y'all. Y'all need to be happy. Be happy. You should say you welcome to us. Okay, that's a proud goddamn devil. And these people, they ain't getting out of this judgment. You see? That's why you should remember, Jake. Don't you be goddamn fucking forgetting and shit. Talking about, hey man, we need to just come together and let's get along. Hell no. We want blood. We want rulership. Okay, they going into captivity, and they ass gonna get eradicated. The Edomites, all right. These other nations going into captivity too, but you know they're gonna be released to their respected areas, in the earth, all right. And they still gonna continue to serve the Israelites, but Esau Edom, he gotta go. This devil got to go, all right. Let's get Ezekiel, the 25th chapter, all right? We're going to start from verse, Ezekiel 25. We're going to start from verse 12, okay? This is Ezekiel, the 25th chapter, verse 12, and it reads, thus said Yahweh thy power, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and had greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Right. And he's doing that to this very day. What's going to happen? Verse 13. Therefore, thus said the Lord thy power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom. And how is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah going to do that? through our deliverer, man. Our big brother Yahweh Shai. All right. He coming to take this devil down, man, with the army of hosts. Okay, with the angels and the chariots, the so-called UFOs. That's how he gonna do it. All right. And we'll cut off man and beast from it. And that's talking about Babylon the Great. And I will make it desolate from teeming, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. All right. This place is gonna get destroyed, man. It's gonna be made desolate. All right. Meaning, matter of fact, let's go into that word. Let's get that. Let's go into that word, desolate. All right. This is Strong's H2723. And this is Harabawa. Salakia. A place laid waste, ruin waste, desolation. Okay? And that's what the word desolate means. A place laid waste, ruin waste. That's what's going to happen to America. Okay? Babylon the Great. All right. Let's get let's finish that off. Verse 13. Verse 14, and it reads, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to his anger." So we can't even get angry enough. All right. The Most High going to put a spirit on us, to bring judgment upon Esau, Edom. Because you Israelites, man, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially you wicked 2/3, man, y'all tripping. Y'all want to stay in captivity. All because you trying to get a Dodger, Charger, a Hellcat, apartment, in the bag. And Eve, she want to continue to be rebellious. All right? She want to do what she want to do. Be independent and ride the cop carousel all day. All right? But we got bigger and better things waiting on us, starting with the elect. Okay? "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, said Yahweh, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, thy power." Okay? So, this devil, he got it coming. And he ain't going to get out of it. Because the prophet's going to remind him every day, okay? And until the famine of the word, or until, until he return. Okay? Because we're going to continue to do the work. You see? All right, let's get Daniel chapter 7. And we're going to start from verse 18. And it reads, "But the saints of the Most High, which are the elect of the Israelites, shall take the kingdom." That's what we're going to do. "And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." All right. Salakia. I'll read that again. This is Daniel. Okay. Again. And we'll start from verse where was that? I done lost where I was at. Okay, verse 18. So this is Daniel chapter 7. Salakia, everyone. This is Daniel 7 and 18, and it reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom." And we understand that the saints that you can read about, let's get that, Psalms 50. Everybody know Psalms 50, but for edification purpose, Psalm 50 and 5. "Gather my saints." Let me get that in another one. I'm on a computer. All right, this is Psalms 50:5, and it reads, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice." And we know that was the Israelites, okay? And back to Daniel 7:18, and it reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever." Okay? So we're going to rule forever, and that's in the new covenant with the immortal bodies. Okay? So these devils got it coming. I hope they scared. They pissing in their pants. They should be afraid of Jacob. You know why? Because we're going to get in that ass. Okay? We ruling next. You know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Raha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and the elect. Shalom. Remember the past.